Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Megs. Thank you so much for joining me for this journal share today. And all the new subscribers, I want to welcome you. It's been a very long time since I've made a video, so I'm sure I'm rusty. But just bear with me. I have a couple of things to say super quick. I won't make it too chatty, but I do want to tell you a few things, and I will do you the courtesy of time-stamping the video in case you don't have time. I totally understand, or if you don't want to hear it. First of all, you may have noticed I changed my name of my channel from Art Therapy with Mama Megs to Megs Mixed Media Journals, and that is just because over the last year, actually since I started my channel, I have gotten inquiries either in comments or actual emails asking about like real art therapy. I think some people have actually thought I was an art therapist, and I know people have thought that. They told me. So I just don't want any confusion. I feel bad because most of the time when people are looking for a real art therapist, or they want to know or they have some questions about art therapy, it's for a serious reason, and I don't want to, it was a play on words, and I just don't want to confuse anybody. So I figured it was probably, a good thing to change it and to be pretty specific in my title, what I do here. So, yeah, it was I felt it feels kind of good to change it up a little bit anyway. So I hope that if you're not used to it, that, you'll warm up to it. So, okay. I don't know why I'm nervous. I just haven't spoke on camera in a long time. So, yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. So today's journal is for someone very, very special. She is just an amazing artist, someone I have just looked up to since I've seen her videos on YouTube. She didn't order this journal or anything. I just made it to be nice because she just inspired me big time, and she has inspired me for a long time. So I started making this in October, so it was spooky season. And some of you know, I like to write stories to a lot of my journals when I can. I just love writing short stories. I've done it since I was a kid. And I've shared a couple on here before, or at least one. And I'm not going to read a story to you this time, but I do want to tell you the background, just because. And like I said, if you don't want to hear it, I will timestamp it so you can just see the flip through. So, I did write it down. I'm not really going to read it, I don't think. I'm just going to tell you. It's about a witch, a green witch of Armandi. It's called The Green Witch of Armandi. And the main character is this witch right here. Her name is Willow. She was born from a mortal father, and her mother was a very powerful, good witch. And her mother's name was Helena Cassandra Armandi, and she was the queen, or the Queen Witch of Armandi. And so the story goes that Willow, because she was born with a mortal father, that was a big no-no, she did get a spell cast on her. So she does have powers, but she is a green witch, so she can heal people around her. She can heal the fae folk. She can heal the trees and the plants. She can heal people and magical beings. But herself, she has struggles every day with pain, and she just has all kinds of health problems that she can't deal with because she's cursed. And her mother can't break the curse. And so during the story, they're on this quest to try and figure out how to break this curse. And then what else can I tell you about the story? She also, like I said, she does all of her powers. All of her powers are for the good of the Fae folk and Armandi people. And it ends up being that she has 3 evil sisters. They are triplets, and they were born of a father that was a warlock who, after her father had died, her mother fell in love again. And she thought she was marrying a wonderful wizard who also was a good man, but it turns out that he was just a evil warlock named Lucius in disguise, and he was really just trying to find out her secrets, and it was people the evil people behind him that had cursed her daughter to begin with. So there's a lot in the story, and it's kind of confusing for me to go back and forth, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of the story. Her mother, Helena Cassandra, ends up dying, but before she dies, she catches on to Lucius and her 3 triplet daughters who she knows are not doing good magic. she figures him out, right? And so behind the scenes, she ends up training Miss Willow on how to use her powers for a little bit darker powers in case she has to, I don't know, win a battle between good and evil, which she does at the end. So Helena not only has to struggle the whole entire time, she also is about to lose her mother. She already lost her father. She found out her sisters are evil. The stepfather that she knew ends up being this evil warlock, and so she ends up becoming this very, very powerful witch who stays true to her good self, but it taps into that little bit of a darker side and gets all of the Fae folk from Armandi to follow her, and in the end there's an epic battle between good and evil. And spoiler alert, she comes out on top. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too cringy, but that's it. Okay, so this is Willow. Okay, so this is the book, and it took me a long time to figure out what I was going to do on the cover because I love doing covers, and I had never done anything like this before. So all of these metal pieces that you see on here, I heat embossed myself, and I don't know how good it's picking up. I don't have a good camera, so I'm not sure, but these were all silver or gold, and I heat embossed these with enamel, so it's like sparkly, and then there's purple, so all of these pieces I embossed. And if you see some black sparkly stuff kind of shedding off, that is because I sealed all of these, but on the tassel I forgot to seal it, so it's kind of shedding everywhere. Okay, and I'll speed it up here. All of these little sparkly doodads here are Swarovski crystals that I, gave a little sparkle. Oops. And this is coming off. Okay, so I'm going to go through this kind of fast. There's not a whole lot of trickery in here. Here is, meaning trickery. There's not a whole lot of, stuff to go through, but here we go. Let's see, I did not, unfortunately, I forgot to seal the enamel on this metal because I embossed it here too. And so it's definitely shedding everywhere. I'm going to try to take it out and do another one. Hopefully I can fix that. But here is the tassel. And this tassel is much different than, it's hard to show on camera. Let me get it right. It's much different than any tassel I've done before, that's for sure. So this is what it looks like. There is chains in here. Kind of looks messy when I show it like this, but when it dangles, it is gorgeous. And in my opinion, of course. I did do all of this beading, and I used Swarovski stones in here as well, and glass beads. And I did fill this little guy up here, little potion jars. I did use sari silk that I ordered. What else can we show here? And then the person that this is for, these are her signs. So she is it a Virgo sun and an Aries moon? Is that what it was, if I remember right? Or it's the other way around? Anyways, these are her signs down here. And so I put her signs on here. And, yep, I did add chains to this, which I've never done before in a tassel. And I did heat emboss some of these charms as well. I just thought once I started embossing metal, it was just really fun. So I might do that on the channel one day. And then I just added this guy. I know she likes cats, and I thought that was super cute. So there's the tassel. It's nice and long how I like them. And this is the front of the book. This is the side of the book. I did use some different thread this time. I've never used this kind. I like it. I embossed this as well. I did this guy. And then the back, we have a couple of bats that I embossed. And they are just so cool. I love them. And then, of course, I have my dangles. I love adding dangles to the tops and the bottoms. Here we go. So, yep. All right. And then this was on, look at all the shedding. This was on the tie. So I did emboss this, and obviously I didn't seal this one that good either. So I do have a lot to learn when it comes to embossing metal. I've only done it this time, so I probably should have watched a video or two. I just guessed. This is how it looks on the outside. There's a kitty and some beading, and then it says peculiar things. Let me open it up and we will get through this. Let me see what time we're already at, like 10 minutes in. Okay, so I did do, well, I'll just show you along the way. So here is the beginning of the book. There's real plants all in the book. I did use real dried leaves and dried plants where I could. So I'm just going to flip through. A lot of printables. I didn't do, there's so much more I wanted to do to this book, but it was, you know, I started it, like I said, in October, and then life just happened. And, you know, when you go away from something and then you come back, it's like you're a little less inspired every time, unfortunately. That's kind of how it was going for me. And it wasn't that I wasn't inspired, it was just I was having a really hard time in life, you know, emotionally and things. That's why I haven't been filming. And I didn't want to reflect in here, so I had to take a step back and just stop working in it for a while, and then, you know, return to it. And so, yeah, okay. So I did lots of sewing. I think my tummy's going to growl, so I hope you can't hear it. Lots of, these are printables. And so I did put some of these actual potions on here. I got these from, I'll leave the information in the description box where I bought these on Etsy. They're digital downloads, and they're actual tinctures, I can't say the word, for arthritis and stuff that you can, like teas and things that you can make. So this is a real recipe, basically, in case, you know, the person that has this is interested. I know she shared with everyone that she deals with some, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze, with autoimmune issues, and they're very serious, and I thought that would be really cool to add some potions in here that would actually help her, so, or could actually help her if she wanted to use them. So this is one of her evil sisters. I just, you know, put some pictures in here that I thought would look cool to represent. So anything in here that comes out is something that can be journaled on, and I will actually ink this up. I just didn't notice it wasn't inked. But so it's mostly a writing journal, and just I did add some mixed media in it, of course. So this is jelly print that I did. This is handmade paper, more handmade paper, mulberry paper. This is paper that I dyed with Rit dye, and it got rained on, so that's cool. And then there's sewing. This is a pocket. We have some really cool dyed papers. All of these are dyed and handmade paper, more handmade paper. It's going to be mainly handmade paper, collages. This is more jelly plate that I did. Lots of sewing. This is a pretty cool collage that I did, a double spread. And just lots of layers. I used, of course, the Stains by Patty Pockets that I love to use on top. The stuff is great. And, yeah, just different collaging and inks, and I did some sewing all over it. And I just love how it looks on the back. So more jelly printing, handmade paper, hand-dyed paper, jelly printing, collaging. Oops, it's filled. The pockets are filled, and which is things to journal on. Jelly print. And then here's one of the first collages that I did. I really love that. So all of these pieces were cut out of different magazines and books and stuff, and I put them together, all these animals together in the tree, and it says Lost in the Witch's Woods. Thought that was really cute. And I kind of tried to make the cat come up a little bit so it looks like he's really climbing up the tree. So silly. Let me just flip through this. Let's see. Then we have some of these really pretty papers. Palmistry, just stuff to journal on. There's another anti-inflammation tea recipe. Some more pretty prints. And then we have the second signature here. I put some moss on there. We did the owl. Yeah, a couple different kinds of moss. Some Tim Holtz flowers. I love how that came out. And then we have a flip here. So this is a pocket with another evil sister witch. This is a pocket, and then it flips out and opens up for secret journaling here. And then this is also a pocket. I did this little stamp on watercolor paper so she can watercolor it and then write a secret message on the back and put it back in. Something silly and fun. If I can get it back in there, that would be great. Let's see. There we go. And then we have, and this is, it says lemongrass, and it tells, you know, all about, it's supposed to be like a potion, I guess, and it tells all about, I don't really know. What it's for, what it's used for, and all that stuff. So, and then this is indigo on the back. It shows the gender, the planet, the element, and the power, and all that stuff. So, if you're aware of witchery, I don't know much about that stuff. I just know I did a lot of research on like real green witches and stuff, which is very interesting to me. And yeah, it's kind of cool. So I wanted to add, you know, what I could to that, to the book. This is some handmade paper. Isn't it beautiful? It's got gold in there. And then this is really cool. This is an insert. And yeah, I had in mind, I was inspired by Nick the Booksmith. She does the Raggedies, she calls them, which I have a whole, there's 2 more books that go with this, little books. I'll show you in a minute. But they were based on the Raggedy, and this kind of was going to be like a Raggedy. The idea is just that they sit inside the book and they stick out a little bit to look like it's more full than what it is. And since I didn't have a lot of flips and tucks and stuff in here like I usually do, I wanted to add some really pretty standout pieces that just kind of can be removed if you wanted or whatever. So I did put some dried flowers in here. There is, you know, the see-through, and then I sewed around it. There's the frankincense, all about that, those beautiful dried plants, and then the back is another one. So it's double-sided, which is pretty cool. That's clove on this side. And then we got some mushrooms, lots of mushroom stuff in here. I love mushrooms, literally and figuratively. And then that's a jelly print. This is from a book. This is a vintage postcard that I got at an estate sale. So I just added that from Michigan. She can do some journaling on the back and put it in. And then more dyed, coffee dyed, writ dyed, plant dyed. Sometimes I boil plants and I just dye the paper with whatever comes out of the pot. And that's that weird green color. So that's pretty cool. Some papers, more jelly printing, more handmade paper, more tea dye, sewing. And listen to that. The crinkle in this paper is amazing. It's vintage parchment paper. Sewing, I tried to sew, there's the leaves, and I tried to sew a flower at the top. It didn't work out great, but I'm not that great with the sewing machine. But I do like it. It does look nice. Okay, then we do have more jelly printing, more handmade paper. And then this is another collage. I love this one. Again, I cut things out of a magazine. The hand came in a paper pack. It's like a vellum. These animals came out of a book. And then these are some collage flowers that I cut out, and I just put them all together. Dollar store butterfly. I just put them all together, and it says amusements treacherously supplied by the imagination. That is a mouthful, honestly. So I thought that was cool. And then I did this little mixed media piece where it's just different layers. I did some gesso, some painting, some sprays, some distress glaze. I don't know if you could see the glossiness to it, and stamping. And then there's texture paste as well. I wanted to try out that was when Tim Holtz's new Villainous Potion came out, the color, and I really like that, so pretty. And then that side is just more inking and tape. Why couldn't I think of the word? I don't know. And so yeah, it's a journaling card. And then we have another Evil Sister Witch journaling card. There's a pocket there. And then this is one of my favorites, actually. So this is the Moon Man that I made into a moonflower. This is one of the magical flowers of the forest of Armandi, and it's on top of a jelly print, and all of these, like petals and the leaves and the stalk and the grass, they're different alcohol inked papers that I did, just backgrounds, and I had cut several different shapes out and just put them in a bag, and I pulled the bag out. I'll actually show you if you don't mind. I just keep random shapes in here, and of like pretty alcohol inked backgrounds, and then I just cut shapes out either with like a cutter or like by hand as well. So you can see I punched these out, but see, the alcohol ink is really pretty, and I love making backgrounds. Look at that. This was just the prettiest. I just love alcohol ink, especially the gold. It's so nice. So yeah, so I just cut all these shapes out, and like this, I had cut the petals out. I just had this folded in half and just started cutting, and that was how I got the petal shapes. And yeah, I just cut out different shapes and then made a flower with it. Not super spectacular, but I just think it's super fun. So that was him. And then we just have more handmade paper, more prints. This is some vellum sewn onto paper. And then here we have, if I can hold that, this is a really cool pocket that I have here. Let's see. This is a jelly print that I just added for like a journaling card. And then this is a pocket which has like a little see-through spot there with some dried flowers in it. Those are real. And then it's also a pocket, so that's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and put this back. We're almost done. I know this is kind of time consuming. We are on the second to the last signature. So I did some gold leafing on a lot of stuff. Gold leaf pen. I love using that. And some Tim Holtz flowers. Some raggedy there. We did a punch, and I did some heat embossing on, what's that stuff called? I forgot. See-through heat embossing. We have another Evil Witch Sister to journal on, and it says keep your eyes to the moon. Just lots of moon stuff. Here's a pocket with some jelly print. It's a jelly print pocket, and yeah, just glued on some ribbon. Lots of pretty lace. I really love this lace. And there's more jelly printing. I used a leaf and some flowers on here on the jelly plate. I love how this paper came out. It's so grungy. Yeah, it was tea and coffee and I don't know, something else, but it came out really pretty. Eco-dyed print. Handmade paper. I purchased this one, the black handmade paper. It's very pretty. More dyed papers. This is another, excuse me, another recipe, but then on the back, instead of gluing it down as a pocket, I made it into a journaling card. I did some decoupage on the back. And then, let's see, there's the other jelly print. This is a bigger picture of Willow, the Witch of Armandi. That's her. She looks pretty stressed out. Journaling card, there's a pocket. And this is a flip out, the only big one I put in here. So it says sky above, earth below, fire within. And then again, these are some of those alcohol inked pieces. They're real shiny, and I did a moon for sky above. I did the earth, and then fire within, I just did a heart with some weird flames. It's funny. But anyways, it opens up, and then there's journaling spot, and then this is bittersweet. It's so cute. However, once you take this out and you open it, you'll notice, or maybe you won't, but I glued it on upside down. Such a bummer. So this whole piece right here I glued on. It was supposed to be turned around because the pockets now are upside down, but that's okay. The picture, if I can show you, see how it's upside down when I opened it? Yeah, it's supposed to be turned around, and you know, it would have looked like that the right way, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I did jelly print on the front, this jelly print, and then this is all decoupaged on the back, all 3 spaces. I cut some pockets, so there's some little like sticker notes in there, and then it says your fate is in your hands. Dun dun dun. And then we just close that up. Boom. Alright. And it's magnetized, so it does stay shut. And let's get through this, y'all. Alright. We got some dark woods. We got purple butterflies. There's another jelly print. Black kitties. Inflammation and pain. Helpful tools. And then, so more recipes. Some rice paper. Or is it onion paper? I'm not sure. Or straw paper? I don't know. Some kind of paper. I love this. This came out so good. It's I did some coffee dyeing, and I just put a stencil on top. It just looked so cool in person. I don't know how it's showing up on camera, but it looks like some writing in white. And then we just have another jelly print, more coffee dyed. Pocket there, see-through pocket with a dried flower. Just some papers. This is probably my favorite jelly print that I did. I really love all the layers. It's like, there's like a flower. When you put it in the light, you can't see it unless the light is shining on it. You can see that. It's so cool. So yeah, this is way basic compared to what I usually make. But I think it's great. It's something beautiful when, you know, excuse me, let me rephrase that. Sometimes the more simple we make things, you know, the more beautiful. I don't know. So this is alfalfa. Let's get the kitty picture again with the dried flowers, and the same, it's double-sided. So there's a back too. And I don't remember what page that was in, but we're gonna stick it here, I think. And then there is this. I cut this out of some fabric and just inked everywhere. It says Wonders of a Witch. I made the tape on the back with alcohol ink to make it look vintage. And then I cut these out, and it's really hard to see, but in these pockets there's these little tiny tickets. Excuse my band-aid finger. These are the Tim Holtz tickets. Hopefully you can see that. And on the back there's just words of affirmation. So it says strong, and each little tiny one, unless she sees this, she's not going to know that they're there unless she pulls them out. But One says you are enough. The other one says strong, beautiful. I mean, they all say stuff. You are enough. Oops, you are enough. So I just put like words of affirmation on all these little tickets in these little ripped pockets down here. I just thought it was cute. And then that's a pocket with a journaling card. And then we have more jelly prints. The end is near. This is pain-free tea, another recipe. And then we have this pretty piece right here. It's what I was calling, I don't remember. I think it was, why can't I think? I'm drawing a blank. That usually happens when I haven't filmed for a while. Excuse me. A postcard tag, I guess is what I call these, a postcard tag. So it's like a little postcard, but it's a tag. It's cute. I love that. And then it's like a little journaling card, so there we go. I'll find my words eventually. There's another jelly print that came out kind of interesting. Those colors are different together. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know how well it's showing. And then we're at the end. I did one of the pieces I really like to make in my books where I cut a square and then I used tea bags and dried flowers in between the tea bags. It just turns out pretty cool looking in person. You can kind of see through it. And that's it. I think we are done. And of course I had to do the bling. So this is another one of those alcohol linked backgrounds I did. And I just cut it out into a butterfly shape. And then I used Swarovski crystals and sequins because everything's prettier when it, you know, is blinged with sequins or crystals. It says handmade with love. And I really like this paper. I don't like, one thing I really don't like, just personally, is like Ouija boards and stuff. And I don't know how she feels about it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't look too like Ouija boardish. I don't think so, but I don't think so. I think it just looks like a weird chart, but it's supposed to be spooky paper. Anyways, I'm starting to ramble. I'm getting quite tired, but there we go. That's the book, and there is two parts, or a couple of parts to this. See how much it's shed everywhere? I'm going to have to take care of that, huh? Yeah, bummer. So excuse all that. So there is two, these are just small, and they're very fast. So this is a little spell book I made. It's super cute, isn't it? It's so tiny. And it's just all these little, I just did like a tab binding. If I remember, I'll link some really great videos on how to tab bind. If you don't know, because I know there's a lot of new people that, well, there's not a lot of people at my channel ever, but I know that most of the people that watch are new or just, you know, browsing, and you may not know about journals. So if you're interested in this tab binding, I will link a video below. Okay. And then, so it just says spell book on it. And I did put, I'm not a huge fan of like stickers, but I did put stickers on here because I wanted to hide the, you know, the metal, you know, piece, the brads that I put on the front. I didn't think about it until I poked them through and I was like, oh great, I need something to hide that. So I put some cute stickers on there. And then this is just a book of like echinacea is the first one, and then on the back it tells you what the echinacea is for: antibiotic, immune stimulant, anti-allergenic, lymphatic tome. So it's all these different things. It shows you how to make a tincture, a decoction, a powder, a gargle, a capsules, like all sorts of stuff. And so it's just a whole spell book of actual recipes that you can use. So these are real. And I just love the site I got this, or the Etsy store I got this from. I can't think of it because I'm on the spot again, but I will link it below. So it's got just a whole bunch. Cinnamon, so all of them, cayenne, and I think somewhere I did gold leaf around it. I did try to make it kind of cute. It's not like the coolest thing in the world, but it's cute. And I did add a few little things, like little creepy pictures and stuff. So there's that. And then the last part of this, there is the book. And I'm totally getting Hocus Pocus vibes from this. Book! Oh, book! Oh my gosh, I love Hocus Pocus. Okay, so look at this. I just, apparently, I have a lot to learn, like I said, about this embossing metal. I really thought if I used Mod Podge on top that it would seal it really well, but it's not really working out because everywhere I go, or everywhere I look rather, there is enamel everywhere, so I don't know. So again, I got really crazy with the heat embossing. Once I found out I could heat emboss metal, it was on like Donkey Kong, because this is so sparkly, you guys, and I just love a good sparkle, especially a good black sparkle. Ooh. So I did the eye, cut that out, and it just framed it so well I had to do it. And I did, so this is heavily inspired from Nick the Booksmith's Raggedy's. I did like a whole bunch of Raggedy's that I was going to put into the book and have them like stick out. And they just ended up being way too obnoxiously big for the book. Even if they stuck out a little bit, it just looked ridiculous. So I made them into their own book. And so I actually only used 2 or 3. So the rest of them I didn't even use because I don't know. Anyways, I I closed it with this chain that I got these, I think I ordered these on Amazon, I think, or I got them from Michael's, I can't remember, but these are all the rest of the signs, charms that I got. I put her signs on the book itself, and then I put the rest of them on this chain that I got. I have loose chain. I just put them on, and I put this little guy, and then on the back, are the rest of them. So all 12 signs are in, this in the book. So this is the back. Oh, geez. Crash. This is the back. This is the front. Let me open it up here. We're almost done, y'all. It says Found Curiosities. This is the back. It's another tab binding that I did, and I just left all these crazy things on here. So this is just all collage, and I love collaging so much. It's just layers and more layers and sewing and stamping, and there's jelly print in there, there's writing, there's fabric even, and it just came out cool, I think. And then the inside is actually, yeah, it's double-sided. So I did one side, and then I, made the other side a collage as well. And then these are all the animals, and the animals of the witch's forest, and their meanings. So I wanted to put more, but I just didn't have time to keep printing, and I started having problems with my printer, so, fun times. But the bat's in here, and it shows the bat Native American symbolism, the bat Celtic symbolism, Far Eastern symbolism. They printed out so beautifully on my printer. I loved the pictures. And then on the back, it shows the mythology and the folklore, which is just so cool to me. It's got the bat totem animal, the power animal, the spirit animal. I just think it's so cool. So we got the bat, the butterfly. It's just so cool to me. The butterfly, and then we got the turtle, the rabbit, and I just realized I put this one on backwards. I put the rabbit on backwards, that's okay. And then that's a common theme with me. And then we did this collage here. So there's a collage on this side, which differs from the collage on this side, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. There we go. Hopefully I did not make that too hard to watch. Like I said, it's been a while since I have filmed, and I am really hopeful to start making videos again. I really want to just finish cleaning up this room because that was causing me huge stress. I don't know if you've ever had a crazy messy room before, or art space, but for me it just really interferes with my creativity. So I am in the midst of cleaning up, decluttering, maybe getting rid of some stuff, and then I actually do have some really awesome stuff planned. I'm praying that I will get to execute it and come on here and do some actual artwork with you guys, some actual mixed media, some journal making. I think it'll be super fun. Thank you so much for those of you who have been keeping my family in your thoughts, because we've gone through a lot the last few months, but things are starting to get better, and I'm just actually starting to feel really hopeful and grateful and happy again. So thank you so much for those of you who stick around and ding those bells and put the thumbs up and the wonderful comments. I do appreciate it. My channel's small, and it's, I do it for you guys who watch, but I also am doing this for me because it is very healing to me, and it has gotten me through a lot. So I just appreciate you being here with me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that Miss Jane likes her journal, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.